My name is Patrick Vernon Hickey, and I come from Walt.
Can you spell it?
Spell your name.
Spell your name.
My name Patrick, but I should know that one.
Yeah.
He wants you to spell it. Spell it.
Spell it.
P,
You know how to spell your name. P-A-T.
you're right now.
Yeah.
My name is Patrick. It's P-A-T-R-I-C-K, Vernon, V-E-R-N-O-N, Hickey, H-I-C-K-E-Y.
That's your last name.
That's right.
Yeah. And what is your birthday?
18th of May.
Huh?
It's 18th of May, 1929.
Where is it? When was it?
18th of May.
May
Yeah.
18th, 29.
29.
So how old are you now?
I'm
88?
89.
89.
89.
90 in May.
I'm 90 in May.
Wow. You look like a 75.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't it?
now you're a nice man.
Yeah. Yeah, I am nice, man. Where were you born?
I was born in Christchurch.
Christchurch. That's where I'm headed. And tell me about your family background when you were growing up. Your parents, your siblings.
When I'd gone off to Korea.
No, when you were growing up.
Oh,
Here, your family.
I was born illegitimate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had lots of mothers and fathers. Because I was passed over. My father passed me over to one person to the other.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
and I didn't have a proper home for years.
Wow. So what happened? So what happened?
So what happened?
Mm.
Well, I survived. Know what I mean? My
Yeah.
father didn't want me.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, it wasn't. And when I was growing up as a kid, he made me do all the work around the place, like a slave.
Mm.
But I survived it,
You survived it, yeah.
and it taught me to look after myself. Know what I mean?
Mm. So tell me about. So you don't have any sibling?
Yeah, I got
Half siblings.
yeah, our ones. We got how
No,
many?
not us. Brothers
Well,
and
on
sisters.
my side of the family, we got none.
Oh,
What I found, my father didn't tell me that my mother was alive. He said she's dead.
mm.
See, and I knew nothing about her. But when I found out she was alive, it was too late. She was dead.
Oh,
So I had brothers and sisters, half brothers and sisters, but they all died off. I'm the last man standing.
mm. So then what school did you go through?
I started off up here, and Mrs. Cameron looked after me when I was a little baby.
Yeah.
When the depression was on, and the men were working in relief camps, and my father took me to the relief camp as a little baby, and he looked after me at night time, and the cook looked after me in the daytime.
Mm.
And one day I was on the back of the truck, going to the back of the relief camp, and this lady, they stopped the truck to pick up her two sons. And the lady said to my father, "What are you going to do with that baby?" He said, "Take him back to camp."
Mm.
She says, "No, you're not. Give me here." And she took me. Wow. And I was just 12 months old. And I lived with her till I was about 8. And I thought she was my mother,
What's her name?
Mrs. Cameron.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought she was my mum. Until one day my father turned up and said, "I'm taking him away." He said, "I'm getting married." And he took me down to Waihi to live.
Uh-huh.
And I lived there for a few years.
Did he treat you well after that?
No,
Oh.
no.
Wow. You are very straightforward to share those stories.
I didn't like him. The way he treated me, ill-treated me all the time.
Mm.
anything went wrong, I got the blame for it. See? And he ill treated me, so I said, oh, well, I just shut down. Just lived.
So, what school then did you go through?
I went through school in Y Hickey up to high school.
Hang on, you
And
started at St. Leo's.
no, he got married, and my stepmother had a son, and she wasn't very happy with me either, but I just put up with it. She just made it.
So
She said I was older than what I was.
Mm.
And when I got in the army, as a boy, and all the men in the barracks were 40-odd and 50-odd. And I was the youngest one in the barracks.
Right. So when did you join the army?
1947.
Okay. And where did you get the basic military training?
In Papakura camp.
Can you spell it?
Oh, it's
P-A-P-A.
P-I-P-I.
P-A-P-A.
P-A-P-I.
No, P-A-P-A.
Oh, Papa.
Papa. Kura. K-U-R-A.
K-U-R-I.
A.
A.
Yeah.
Papakura.
Papakura camp.
Yeah. And how was it?
Oh, I was lost. I didn't say nothing. I just watched what the men did. And we had to do things, and I just followed suit. And they used to, at night time, they used to put me on a blanket and throw me up in the air.
Why?
Well, I was the youngest one in the room.
Oh, so they loved you?
They said, come on. And they put me on this blanket and throw me, pull it over, and toss me right up in the air and down again about 6 or 8 times. And they all laughed like hell. They thought it was a great joke, but I didn't.
You did enjoy,
No,
but they loved you.
They loved it, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, they looked after me. Know what I mean? They treated me like that.
That's very good. After all those bad time, right?
I trained with them and that. They'd always looked after me.
Very good. And so when did you leave for Japan?
It was in 1947. It was, I couldn't tell you the month. I know we only had 3 months training. And I went across to Japan, and I went over there as a baker.
Baker?
Yeah.
So your specialty was baker?
Bakery.
Were you good at it?
Well, I soon learned. Everything we did in the bakehouse was done by hand. We had no machinery.
Right.
We had to dough up, and all was done. We had big troughs. They put 600 pounds of flour on each end, and we had to mix that with the water and the yeast, and let it rise. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, we punched it down, and we had to dig it out of the troughs and put it on the bench and cut up in a 4-pound loaf. We had to supply enough bread to feed 2,000 troops. And the trucks used to come in. We loaded
Where was it?
And I was in Chofu at the time. I don't know, Chofu, just out of Shinoseki. Our bakehouse was there.
In Japan, Romeo.
In Japan.
Yes.
When I'd finished it in the bakehouse, it'd be about 12 o'clock. I had to go to the kitchen and organise the kitchen because we had Japanese cooks, and they'd always cook rice or something. So I had to stop them doing that and get them to use New Zealand foods. And they learned, and they accepted me. And we got on well together. For the 2 jobs, I was doing the bakehouse and the kitchen.
And then when did you leave for Korea?
I volunteered when it first broke out. And I was in the regular army.
May 1951.
Yeah. when Korea first broke out, I volunteered
Mm.
because I thought, oh, I went to Japan. It was a good life. Oh, it's going to be a good life. But I made a mistake.
Yeah.
It was a different life altogether.
Yeah, right.
Oh, was it ever? No, I went to volunteered then, and I couldn't get away. They said, no, you're not going.
Why not?
They just said, well, they didn't want regular force soldiers. But one day, I was loading up a truck with petrol. I could lift a 44-gallon drum with another man, and we'd put it on the truck. And we're loading this petrol, and I was due for promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to the officer in charge, I said, I'm due for promotion. You're going to put it through? And he said, no. I said, why not? He said, yeah, you haven't done all the study. So I said, oh, well, I'll go and see the man in charge. And he said to me, talk's cheap. When I finished loading that truck, I went straight to the boss. And I said to him, Reg Knutsford, he's a major. I said, told him what it was. And he said, have you done the study? I said, yes. So he called some other men in that taught me what to do. And he said, righto, got the fellow in charge. And he said, you're telling lies. That they thought the best thing to do is get me out of there. They sent me to Korea.
When was it? 1951?
51.
And do you remember the month?
I left here in May.
3rd of May you left.
3rd of...
3rd of May.
1951.
Mm. You went to Korea.
Yeah.
And where did you arrive?
We took the route that used in J-Force. It was called the Mail Run. We left here in New Zealand, went to Sydney, Darwin, Manila, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And
from Japan to Korea, where did you arrive in Korea? Busan?
No.
Incheon?
Oh, no, not Incheon.
Did you fly?
Yeah. No, it was Iwakuni.
Yeah.
That's where we landed. We landed in Iwakuni in Korea.
No. Iwakuni is in Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah. So Gimpo? Was it Gimpo Airport?
The main airport in Korea. What was the name of it?
Gimpo.
Impo.
Yeah.
That must be where we landed.
Okay.
We landed there.
And from there, where did you go?
Straight to the front.
Where? Hill? Do you remember hill number?
We were supporting at the time 355.
Mm-hmm.
We supported that all the time. And the Hook.
So you were there at hill 355?
355 and the Hook, we supported them.
Hook battle.
Yeah. They were our New Zealand areas.
Yeah, Little Gibraltar. Is that familiar?
We call it, no, we just call it 355.
Hill.
I don't know the Korean name of it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's Little Gibraltar. It's
Is it?
yeah.
It did a hill on its own.
Yeah. And what was your unit at the time?
I was in 163 battery. Easy.
166 battery.
163.
3 battery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Easy troop.
Easy troop.
Yeah.
And what was your specialty then? You didn't do bakering there.
No.
No.
Well, they wanted me to,
Yeah.
but I said no. I wanted to go to the front.
Why?
Hey, nothing up here.
You were too young.
I was young, and I thought had a steel coat on, so I wanted to go to the front.
Oh boy. Okay, so what was your specialty then?
Well, I had a bit of engineering training, so I got I was artificer for the guns.
Mm-hmm.
And the artificer is the one that keeps the guns under repair.
I see.
You must keep it up to repair all the time.
What kind of artillery did you have at the time?
We had 25 pounders.
25 pounders?
That's right.
Was it big?
Were they what?
Big.
Big.
Was it big artillery?
No, it's an excellent gun.
Uh-huh.
It's a kind of gun you could put on a helicopter, fly in and just drop it on the ground and you went straight into action.
Ah, so it's a bomb, not a cannon.
Well, you might call it a cannon, but it was an excellent gun.
Uh-huh.
They used them in the Second World War right through and in the Korean War.
And tell me about the daily routine that you did there.
Certainly helped.
My job was to, at 5:30 in the morning, in the summertime,
Yeah?
when it was just starting to get hot, I had to get the guns, go down the command post and ask for number one gun out of action.
Mm.
And I'd put that gun out of action and I'd check the gun for maintenance. And I checked everything.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I made sure everything was right. Because my argument was, I was working for the artillery,
Mm-hmm.
and that gun had to be in good order because we were supporting the Aussies up in front.
So you took care of the guns, right?
That's right.
Yes.
All
But
the-
you were there when they firing the guns, right?
When the other three guns could fire,
Mm-hmm.
but only the one out of action was out of action. We had to notify them up the front that number one gun was out of action.
Mm.
And then I put that back into action and went to number two. We did the 4. I'd finished about 11:30 each day, just before the sun got really hot.
Mm.
That's what part of my job was. And I had to check everything to make sure that it was right.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford to have a burr on a block or anything because it jammed. I had to make sure it was right. And I drummed the men into it to make sure they did the job right. If they didn't do it right, hey, I was 6 foot tall
Yeah.
and I was like about 18 stone. I could pick the fella up and shake him so you didn't do the job properly and put him back down again.
Yeah.
And they soon learnt to do the job properly. Because when that man up the front, he's relying on us.
Yeah.
He couldn't afford to have a breakdown.
Mm.
We had some difficulties. In the summertime, it was all right. But in the winter, it froze.
Yeah.
Everything froze. And the gunner would fire and come back, and the men were pushing them forward by hand. And I said to them one day, why the hell do you do that? They said, it won't run back.
Mm.
It's frozen. So I said to them, well, we must be able to do something better than that. So we cleaned the slides down and put some oil on it, but it didn't work. So what I did, I got some oil and some kerosene, 50-50, mixed them up. I heated them up in the fire. And when it cooled down, I put that cleaned the slides all down, and put that on the thing, and it fired and come back, good as gold.
So that worked.
It did work.
How did you know that formula?
Just one thing I picked up.
From whom?
I don't know. I just picked up on somewhere.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Just improvised idea that you want to
Yeah.
mix those two and make it sure that it's
Yeah.
working?
After we'd done it, it leaked out to the other batteries, and they were doing it, mixing kerosene and oil together. Because the kerosene doesn't freeze.
Yeah.
It's cold, but it won't freeze. But the oil will freeze. The oil was OM50, and it finished up like grease when it was cold at night.
Mm-hmm.
All the parts, the dial sights and the bubbles to lay the gun with, they had to take them inside with them and put them alongside the fire. And the chap who was laying for the night, he had to make sure he had all the bits to put back on the gun again.
Yeah. That was genius.
You fun?
That was genius.
It worked.
Yeah. So you woke up early in the morning. You walked until when?
I'd call out at night time, anywhere, anytime.
Oh boy. So did you have enough sleep?
Did I have enough energy
Sleep.
left?
Did you
Sleep.
did you have enough sleep?
Sleep,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes I have a habit of catnapping. I'll have a wee sleep,
Mm.
and you wake me up in 10 minutes, I'm ready to do it again.
Wow.
Some nights we get called out for ammunition. We used to go back behind the line because the ASC would only come up in a certain way,
Mm.
and he wouldn't bring out the ammunition. So we had to go back at night and load the trucks up, about 5 or 6 of us, load all the trucks up with ammunition to restock the supply.
Were there any dangerous moment that you might have lost your life?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I went into no man's land.
Why?
You know, I got a suit of armour. Nobody's going to hurt me.
So you just went to the no man's land
Yeah.
by yourself?
No.
Why did you go there?
They've asked for volunteers, and nobody would do it. And one night, the first night we went it, they wanted a telephone line run out because it had been mortared, and the line was broken, so they wanted it repaired. And I was on the bed reading the book, and the sergeant came around and he said, "I want some volunteers to go out to no man's land."
Why?
For
what?
Repair the telephone wire.
I see.
See? And they said, no, we're not going out there. They wouldn't have anything to do with it. And I said, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Mm.
And he said, the telephone line's got to be repaired.
Yeah.
So I wanted volunteers for it. So I said, oh, I'll go. And there was chap, Jack Lancaster, Denny Day, Tom O'Neill and myself. We went out and we fixed it. That was all right. And then about 2 weeks later, they said to us, "Oi, we want you fellas out the front again." And I went out there, and I said, "What's it for?" And he said, "Oh, the line's got to go further out." So I said, "Righto, I'll go." And the other bloke said, "Yeah, we'll go with him." So we went out and put this wire out further. And what the idea of the next wire was they put an alarm on it. So if the Koreans touched the wire,
Yeah.
the barbed wire,
Yeah.
it set an alarm off back in the trenches.
Yeah.
See, we did that. And that was all right. And we thought, oh, that's it. And then one day they come along and they said, "Oi, we want you blokes again." We said, "What for?" We want to go right out the front. And I said, what for? And he said, "We're going to put a line out, right out further, out in front of the machine gun post, and you want to dig it in." So we had to go out there at night time. We'd leave at midnight and come back at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we went out there again this night. We dug it in again. And what it was like, it was a new alarm system they had. So the Koreans came over, made a noise, they knew straight away they were in the area. And that's what we did, we dug that in. And I've been out 3 times. And when you're out there, you can't imagine what a burp gun is. You ever heard of a burp gun?
Mm-hmm.
It goes, and the magazine's empty. It fires something like 50 rounds in half a minute. And it was a simple gun. It was a simple gun the Koreans put together, but it was powerful.
You mean North Korean or South?
North Korean.
North Korea, yes.
Yeah, if the bullets hit you,
Yeah.
100 yards away, they'd stick in your skin. Didn't kill you, but you could pick the bloody bullets out.
Eh.
It was unbelievable. And if you were up close enough, it just tore you apart. We never thought of it, know what I mean? And we're out there, and you could hear the burp guns going and the mortars going off all around you, and the flares would go up. And all they told us, if your flare goes up, stop still, don't move. And that's all we were taught. And that's what we did. We did that on the 3rd time. By that time, the war was almost over. And that's the last time I went out.
Mm. So you were lucky that you were not shot from the Chinese, right? Or
That's
the
right.
enemy was Chinese?
Yeah,
Chinese or North Koreans?
Mixed.
Mixed?
North Koreans and Chinese were mixed.
Were you able to see them?
I could hear them.
Wow.
That was enough, eh?
What was the feeling like that you can hear from them and you are always exposed to be shot?
You don't think about it.
You were not scared?
No, you don't think of it. You can hear the machine guns going all around you, but you don't think. You think, oh, yeah, I've got this job to do. You just do the job. It never doesn't worry you. Until you get back in. But we never told anybody what we'd done.
Why not?
Oh, well, some chaps think you tell them worries. So we never told them a thing.
You were not wounded at all?
No.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
And what was the most difficult thing during your service? If I ask you to pinpoint only one thing that really bothers you or was difficult for you, to you?
Well, that's difficult. The day we got shelled, and they shelled 6 Easy Troop one day. That was the most difficult thing I'd ever did.
Why? Why was it so difficult?
We'd just come back from the front line that morning, and I was with Tom O'Neill, and he said, I'm going to make a cup of tea. And I said, well, I'll go across to our block, go to the toilet. See, all was quiet. And next minute I heard a whoom. And I thought, what the hell was that? And I looked out the door, and we'd built a toilet behind the Korean house. And the Korean house was destroyed, was gone. That would save me. And then I heard another one come in. And by this time the chaps had came back into camp. And I had to run up the hill, pulling my trousers up, and they started laughing at me. And I said, get out of there, you blokes. They said, why? I said, they're on to us. They're ranging in on us. And they start laughing. But next minute, the round came in. Well, they soon got out. And I had a slit trench, and I built it for me. And I made a dive for my slit trench. But when it finished, the shelling, I was in it, and there's room for another bloke too.
Oh.
That's how we weren't frightened. We weren't scared, no. But we were both curled up inside the trench.
You make it look like very funny things happen to you, but it's been really scared.
Well, hey, you look on the bright side. Don't look on the dull side, eh? That's the day. That day we got shelled. Tom O'Neill had been out with me all night. He got hit in the stomach. And when he got hit, it just tore him apart. The shrapnel did. And it was in the command post. I just sleep in the tent with the SIGs. And when it was all finished, I had an old chap there who was in J-Force with a friend of mine. And old Ted said, I said, how'd you get on that last night, Ted? And he said, it's a bit rough. And I said, why? He said, we had an officer. I know his name. And they said, somebody's gone down. We've got to check out who it is. And this officer in charge wouldn't go out. So old Ted said, you're a cowardly bastard, he said. And the officer said, what? He said, you're a cowardly bastard, I'll go out. And Ted went out and checked, and he came back in and he said, it's too late, the man's dead. It was Tom O'Neill. And that officer was transferred the next morning out of our battery. He went to 161 battery. He still lives up here in Takapuna.
You said that there were Korean house, right, around.
That's right.
Did you see Korean?
No.
Did you have any encounter with the Korean people?
No, none.
You didn't know anybody Korean?
No.
No. Okay.
Only the little boys. They had little boys that were left behind, and we took them under our wings, and they worked on the cookhouse.
I see.
And they gave them our clothing.
What was his name?
All I know is his name was Kim.
Kim.
That's all.
How old?
He was only about 7. We looked after them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were wandering around, no parents, so the chaps just took them in and say, here. They gave them a feed, and they did little jobs in the kitchen for them.
What were you thinking when you see those children without their parents and no protection at all?
Oh.
Things like that.
That was bad. I went back behind the line one day with a gun to do repairs, and I was working there in the English camp, and these kids used to line up along the fence at mealtime, and the RSM would be there, and he'd say, "Don't give them kids any food." And the poor little beggars, they'd have out like a pair of trousers like on, long pants, and they'd cut the legs off and wear them. And the crutch was down at their knee.
Mm.
And they'd have a baby on their back. And these kids were looking after one another.
Yeah.
It was a hard life, but I don't know how they did it.
Mm.
They came over not so long ago. They got a society on in South Korea of these kids. And they told me what they did. And I said, "Oh, you're the little ones that used to steal everything off us." And they laughed like hell. They thought it was a great joke. Leave them behind and they'd steal and sell it in the market.
Mm.
Well, they had to live.
Did you write letter back to your family or friends at the time?
I wrote to her.
Oh.
And I wrote to my stepmother, but and she kept all my letters. And when she died, they disappeared.
Oh.
We don't know who got them or nothing. Nobody got them because they were worth money. I didn't know they were worth money.
I didn't know.
But selling soldiers' letters, they were worth money.
Really?
And somebody sold them.
So, what's her name, your wife?
Joy.
Joy. And you knew her at the time?
Yeah, I knew her before I went away.
How?
Oh, she found me.
Oh, you find her.
No.
No?
No, she found me.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the wharf, waiting to get some luggage, beer, out of a luggage apartment. She sat down and started talking to me.
Just sit down there?
Yeah, you can ask her. It's true.
Oh.
She found me.
Okay.
15 at the time.
Yeah.
Just.
So Joy, you said her name Joy.
Joy.
And so you wrote letter to her.
Yeah, I wrote back and forwards.
Mm. So, do you mind if she joins you here?
No, I don't mind.
Come on.
She's joined me for a long time now.
Yeah. So go back there. Have a sit, just tight close to him.
Not too close.
Just like you found him in 15-year-old.
Oh, sitting.
Yeah, that's good. So, what is your name?
Elsie Joy Hickey.
Hickey. And so you found him at age of 15.
Yes.
Why did you like him?
I don't know. I was sitting waiting for the ferry
Yeah,
to arrive so I could go home.
right.
And he was waiting at the same spot to
Right.
pick up a parcel from the parcel depot.
Yeah.
And we just started talking to his friend who was with him. But then we finished up talking.
Mm-hmm.
And we arranged to meet to go on a date.
That's lovely. And when he left for for Japan, what did you think about that?
For Japan.
Yeah, when he left for Japan to go to war.
J-Force. I didn't know him in J-Force. That's 1947. This is 1950. I met him. The 3rd of June, 1950.
Okay. So then when he was in Korea, and when you knew that he is headed to Korea, what did you think about that?
I told him he might not come back.
You told him?
Yes.
That's not bad. That's not good either.
Not a good idea, is it?
Wow.
We had an on-off relationship.
So you had another boyfriend?
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I had other boyfriend. I even got engaged to another boy.
And then?
Oh, we parted company and I met Pat again and we married shortly after, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are the one who broke that engagement.
No.
No, it was already broken
Okay.
when I met him again.
So tell me about what did he write to you from Korea?
Oh, he wrote just sort of general things that,
Everybody's saying general thing, but
Yeah.
there should be something, right?
I really can't. We just wrote about everyday sorts of things.
Life.
Yeah. No, he never mentioned the war or anything.
Really?
No.
Why
no,
didn't you
nothing.
mention about the war that you are fighting?
Oh,
He would mention that he missed me and that sort of thing, and thank me for different things I sent over.
Why didn't you mention about the war?
that's only telling worries. Don't tell worries.
Mm.
Know what I mean? When things happen at night time
Mm.
in the war, you don't write a letter and say, I just went through blah, 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 the war. Oh no, that's not me.
Okay. I think I would have written those things, small things, but
Well,
still
These
about the battle.
No, when you're talking about the battle, the biggest battle in Korea was at the end of the war. The Chinese had to try to make a breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, first night, they sent their troops in. When they arrived, the Chinese, they used to blow whistles and
Yeah,
wave crackers around, make a noise,
bugle.
and let them know it. But when they came up the first night, they were forced back. And the second night, they came back with more men, and they had another go. On the third night, they came back, and they came back with thousands of men. And they overran.
You still remember those?
On the
Thousands of Chinese coming at you?
They came at us, and they were overran us. There's a man up here, Colonel Stambridge. He was in the command post.
Yeah, Stambridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to the interview with me. He didn't come.
No, he's a very reserved man.
I see.
And Colin called down a target that we called a stonk. And that was all the guns and our outfit in the English army laid a fire on that target. And it was on the hook. And the hook is where 355 is, and there's a gap in the back in him. And he was protecting that gap. And he called a fire down on him, and the Chinese lost that many men. They lost 1 million men in 3 nights. That was their biggest battle. And they fired, it was just open fire. And they laid the target down, and they gave a ceasefire, and the Chinese went home.
Mm.
And that's when they signed the peace treaty.
Yeah. So he didn't mention much about the war. And when did he return? Did you see him?
Yes.
Did
I
you
was-
go to see him when he arrived?
Yes, yes and no, because I was going with this other guy at
Ah.
the time,
Yeah.
and we met once. We didn't meet again after that until I broke off the engagement. We met about a month later.
Mm. And did he mention about the war he fought after he came back? When you married to him, did he mention anything about the Korean War?
No, not a lot. I've heard these stories about this 3-day battle and sitting on the toilet, the house being blown up. I've heard those sorts of stories, but mostly they've been sort of funny stories, you know, personal stories.
Yeah. Have you been back to Korea?
Only once.
When?
The anniversary, what was the 50th?
60th. No, the
60th
So
anniversary.
2010?
That when it was, in 10.
2010.
Yeah.
No, that would be 2014,
14?
wouldn't it?
Oh,
At the end, it was the end of the war.
I see. 60th anniversary of the armistice.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
that's right.
armistice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2013, 14, 13.
13,
Yeah.
13, 51, 53, wasn't it?
And did you go with him?
No,
No.
I had to pay, he went with the government troop,
Yep.
and I would have had to pay my own fare, and I would have been on my own.
Yeah.
I couldn't join
I see.
the men, so I stayed home.
Yeah, that's too bad. But what did you see there when you went back to Korea in 2013? Tell me about it.
When we got there in the Korean 51, the place was deserted. There were very few people around. All the houses, banks, everything was destroyed. And we lived in a forward movement area just for a few days and moved out. The only thing we saw was kids. And we stopped the truck, taking us to the front line, and I've got some photos of it. We gave the kids some lollies. And they had lollies for years, you know what I mean? And they were happy. And then we went up the front line, and the place was deserted, and nothing around, only the odd truck.
Yeah, he wants to know what the
And when you went
what
back
the
to
difference
Korea,
was
yeah.
when you went back.
When I went back, it was
Yes.
we had one bridge over the river to cross. Now, I think they got something like 5.
No, more than 20, or more than 30, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man alive, we had one. And the Americans bombed it one day, bombed our own bridge. They were supposed to bomb up north, and they bombed our bridge and blew it out.
Did you see Seoul City?
Yeah, we were in Seoul.
How was it?
It was unbelievable. With the buildings up there now, it's all like walking into heaven after being in a bombed out area. I was really surprised what they'd achieved in that short time. And it was unbelievable. The people there, the people were very good to us when we arrived there. They were good. They always treated us with respect. And the food, wow, it was unbelievable. We were in a hotel, and there was 3 restaurants. So if you wanted breakfast, you went to one, you got something there, then you got something there, and there, right around the whole 3 of them. And you lived like a king.
Were you able to see the difference between those two, and so that, were you proud?
Oh, there was a big difference.
Mm.
It was huge. And the people were different. When we had to go somewhere, we had a police escort. They'd put us on the bus, and we had a policeman on a motorbike in the front, and the back, and one on either side. They sounded sirens, and all the traffic opened up and let us through. It was like living like a king.
Yeah, right. Despite such beautiful outcome out of your service, Korea now is the 11th largest economy in the world. Can you believe that? It's bigger than New Zealand economy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are a very democratic society. But despite of all this good outcome out of his service and the war, we don't teach about the Korean War here. Why is that?
It's forgotten.
Yeah.
They've called it the Forgotten War.
Right.
Because we were only there we were there as long as the Second World War. But they don't care for us. They don't care, they forget us. The only ones we have a contact with now is the Korean society.
Here.
And they're good people. They always treat us well, they feed us well. We go over there, and they have an excellent turnout. But our people, they're not interested. I just came out of hospital, and they said to me about this here. We were just to bathe in the paddy fields because we couldn't. Fresh water was rationed, so we used to bathe in the paddy field. And I got a bug in my ear, ate my ear away. And they said, "Where'd you get that from?" I said, "The Korean War." "Oh, we know nothing about that. Never heard of it."
Yeah.
That's what the nurse was saying. That we never heard of it.
That's why we are doing this, to
Yes.
preserve your memory, and then we're going to make it as a curricular resources. We already published the book in the United States, and hope that I can do it here in New Zealand and Australia too, because it's known as Forgotten War and nobody give a damn about it.
No, don't.
Yeah, that's so bad, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I've been at RSA, and they joined up there, and they said, we're in Korea. Oh, where was that?
See? You know, that's the problem that I am trying to challenge, okay? And now, you didn't know anything about Korea before you left for Korea.
I didn't even know where it was.
Exactly. And now you are the proud Korean War veteran, right?
That's right, yeah.
So what is Korea to you now, personally?
I respect the people highly, because now that we were there, they respected us. Sometimes we had to go behind the line to dig our trenches in case we had to fall back. And they were in a village. I forget the name of the village now. We had to dig in, and the people would come out and talk to us. And they respected us, and we go back to the front line that night.
Mm.
And they were good people. But when I went back the second time, it was a different world. You'd stop and talk to you and that. And when they said, I was in the Korean War, they said, thank you. They always said thank you.
Mm. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well,
I mean,
They'll even give you a discount. A taxi driver gave me a discount.
Oh,
one
really?
day. He was a Korean driver.
yeah. When did you leave Korea? I mean, during the war. You went there 1951, and then you...
Came back in 54.
54?
Yeah,
From Korea? You were there for 3 years?
that's right.
Well, they were in Japan. You're in Japan for a while, waiting to
And
come home.
yeah, but that's only a short period.
Yeah.
The rest of the time I was in the front line.
Until 54.
Yeah, when it was all finished. Everything was signed up.
When did you leave from? What month did you leave from Korea?
Now, the chap told me, I thought 54.
I don't think there doesn't appear to be
It was after
anything
Christmas.
on those papers.
It was just after Christmas we came
I
home.
was looking.
54. Christmas time in 54.
Yeah,
So you were
No,
there
it wasn't.
pretty long.
yeah, I was. They asked me to stay on again.
Jeez.
And I said, no, I've done enough.
Yeah, that's too much.
I think it was early 54, not Christmas 54.
Well, early 54.
Yeah, early 54,
Okay.
not Christmas.
And
So he did 6 months, 51, 52.
yeah.
That's just over 2.5 years.
Yeah. When I first went there, all the original ones
Mm.
were there in Korea.
Mm.
And then it's changed over. A lot of chaps say, I was in Korea, but I came in 1952.
Okay. Could you show this to the camera up to your chin so that we can make sure that all these documents certify that you are in Korea, okay? What is that? It's what is it?
I don't know, I didn't read it.
Posting order, transfer to reserve or discharge, regular force,
That's right.
and the serial service number is 33564.
564, that's
Yeah,
right.
rank is BDR. What is that?
Lance Bombardier,
Okay. Hickey,
that's him.
PV,
Yeah.
16 FD Regiment.
16th Field Regiment.
Yeah, 16th Field Regiment. All right. You're 25 Francis Street, Takapuna.
Takapuna.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
What's next?
Next page,
Yep.
it might be a charge sheet. It says I've been in jail 6 times.
Jill,
No, I was only joking.
this funny man. What is it? Show it to us. Okay. And certificate of transfer to reserve and or discharge.
That's right.
33564 BDR, Royal New Zealand Artillery, Patrick Vernon Hickey.
That's it.
And 13th of October 1955, you were discharged, right?
That's right.
And your birthday is May 18th, 1929.
That's right.
Transferred to the Regular Force Reserve on 25th August 1965.
Yeah.
And there at the bottom, Korean Medal, United Nations Service Medal with Class Korea.
That's right.
Excellent. Next page.
What have we got? How many of these you got?
Any other episode you want to share with me you didn't tell me? Any hidden secret or
No.
any funny story that you want to share with me?
Funny story.
Yeah.
We had a sergeant, and he wasn't very popular on the gun.
Hmm.
So what they did one night, they came into my tent, and we made up a story about a poor lost soldier
Uh-huh.
fighting in Korea, and he didn't know any girls or anyone. See?
Uh-huh.
And they posted it back, what they used to call them days, the weekly news. And it went back, and it went back, about half a year, a girl in New Zealand must have wrote to him. Because I read this article, and he was engaged to a girl over in New Zealand. And when they said, Sergeant Blankley, the mail's in, see? And he said, right, I'll send a chap over to get it. They said, no, you come and get it. He went over there to get it, and there was 1.5 mail bags full of letters. It was 2 big sacks full, and he didn't know what it was for. And when he got it, and he didn't know what to do with them. So they held a parade next morning, and all the sergeant was doing is say, here's one girl from New Plymouth. Anybody from New Plymouth? Some chap say, yes, I'm there. Righto, it's yours. That's how we dish them out. And his girlfriend wrote to him and complained about it.
Yeah, right. Witty, very witty and funny and...
It was the Woman's Weekly, actually.
Yeah.
Woman's Weekly, was it?
Yeah. They used to run a page, people asking for pen pals.
I see.
And that's what they've done. They've written to the Woman's Weekly and registered this guy's name wanting a pen pal.
We had to get the letter right, and it took us about half a day to write it. And then we posted it away. We never thought any more of it until he got 2 mail bags full of letters. And he couldn't make out why. He got them. He didn't know what we'd done. But that's his certificate up there. I got that for going out the front line. No man's land. That's what they sent me for.
So you were very lucky not to be wounded.
Yeah.
And you are still in one piece.
Yes.
And you like Korea.
I did.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. And that's why we are doing this. It's important to preserve your memory. And it's going to be uploaded into the website so that anybody can see it from anywhere at any time. And you're going to talk forever. And with the joy. With the joy, okay? Yeah. So it's great to have you both. And thank you for your fight. Because of your honorable service, Korea had the opportunity to rebuild our nation. We are the strongest, one of the strongest now. So we want to thank you, and I want our children, your children, and your great-grandchildren to know about this war. I'm not promoting the war, but there are great lessons to learn from it. So that's why we are doing this, okay?
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our daughter works for the Auckland Library, and she is a genealogist, and she's been asking him about his life story.
She is librarian, genealogist?
Auckland Library, in the research department.
Yeah. Please give it to her and ask her to contact me because we need those people who wants to know more about the Korean War. Okay? Yeah. So please do that.
Yes,
and
I will do.
Any other special message that you want to leave to this interview?
I think that I honour going over to Korea. I don't regret it. Know what I mean? I don't never regretted it.
Nope.
I came home fit, but only just the last 12 months in it.
Yes.
When I had a bug in my ear, and it was dormant, and it came to life, and it started to eat my ear away.
Did you get it from Korean War?
Yeah, that's why I got it at the paddy fields.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
We used to wash in the paddy fields, and in the hot sunny day, we'd dig a hole in the paddy field and lie in the water.
And that's how you got
And
it.
you can imagine what was in that water, but we
Yeah.
didn't care. We were cool.
It's a beautiful. How old were you at the time? Oh, when you were in soldier. Yes, yes, yes. And honoring those who have served, certificate of appreciation. The government and people of New Zealand express their thanks to Patrick Hickey for the service given to New Zealand during the Korean War and the occupation of Japan.
Yeah.
Lieutenant John Key, Prime Minister, and Honorable Craig Foss, Minister of Veterans Affairs.
Yeah.
And that's Joy there?
That's her, yeah.
Mm-hmm.